Opponent is Sandy Melville.
Good afternoon, Chairman Limmer and committee members. When you have kids, you want to keep, when you have kids, you only want the best for them and you want to try and keep them safe and teach them things to be successful in their life. Our 23-year-old son, Austin, was well on his way to a successful life and future. Austin graduated cum laude with National Broadcasting Society honors from Winona State in May of 2010. He was scheduled to start a broadcasting internship with the Minnesota Twins, and he had a wedding date set with his girlfriend. Austin was careful, Austin was cautious, and he always made good choices because he knew his life depended on it. Austin made all the right choices the night he was killed. He crossed in the crosswalk with friends, with a walk signal, and with their designated driver. Austin lost his life in an instant due to an individual who made the deadly choice to drive with a high BAC and THC metabolites in his blood. Austin was hit and killed on impact, only one step from the curb. Imagine how awful and horrible it is to hope that your son's death was so swift so he didn't feel the horrendous pain of being hit by a speeding car and thrown 51 feet onto the sidewalk. Everything was taken away from him in that instant. Everything that he worked for and achieved and we taught him to be was taken by a deadly choice made by an impaired driver. I can't tell you how much we miss him. I want to hear his voice, and I want to hear his laughter. And everything about Austin is gone. There is nothing worse in life than losing your kids. As a parent, you try to do your best to ignore the possibility that our children might die before us, because that's not supposed to happen. And when it does, there is a hole so deep, nothing will ever be able to fill it. Normal life is gone. You'll never understand this unless it happens to you, and I can tell you, you don't want this to happen. Nothing in life prepares you for the loss of your kids. Parents are not supposed to outlive their children. We have an empty chair at our dinner table. We have his empty bedroom down the hall. And we have an excruciating emptiness in our hearts and in our lives. Alcohol is legal, cheap, and easy to get, which results in an average of 24,000 Minnesota DUI arrests a year. One in seven licensed Minnesota drivers has a DUI on their record. With the well-publicized DUI patrols over the Thanksgiving holiday, many people didn't heed the warning. 480 arrests resulted in only 4 days. Only 2 weeks into 2019, the Iowa State Patrol reported that 45 DUI arrests were made in the state of Iowa. The Minnesota Office of Public Safety reported that 1,000 DUI arrests were made in Minnesota during that 2-week time. Think about this. How safe are your kids and your families on Minnesota roads? Legalizing recreational marijuana will undoubtedly cause an increase in Minnesota DUI arrests. Then ask yourselves if the collateral damage of more innocent victims killed will be worth legalizing pot for the sole purpose of just getting high. My life mission now is to reduce the incidence of impaired driving on Minnesota roads and the tragedies it causes. Please don't compromise the safety of Minnesota citizens any further by passing this irresponsible initiative. There is no rewind. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Melville. And on behalf of the Senate, we extend our sympathies regarding your loss.